let me tell you the stories of the first couple of times that I drank alcohol in the Philippines. I've probably told some of this before on the pub crawl, but I'll tell it again here. So, I went to the Philippines in 2011, and the reason was that my dad was hoping it would inspire me to want to do something in life, like to get a job, essentially. Because I had been failing out of college over and over again for 2 years, and I was clearly like, I was not really ready to go back. I was like, I don't think I want to do college anymore. And my dad was like, well, you've got this older friend named Ghost Lightning, online anyways, who lives in the Philippines. He's 15 years older than me, so I was 19 at the time. That would make him 34. And he was like, why don't you fly out there and live there for a month? I'll give you $3,000. Try to only spend 1,000 of it. I, of course, spent 2,000. He said, go out there and learn about life and shit. And I was like, all right. So I flew to the Philippines, and it was an insanely long flight, and I was trapped in customs forever. I'm pretty sure that Ghost Lightning had a cab waiting for us that was waiting for like hours, because not only did it take me forever to get out of customs, but the outside of the Manila airport is a fucking madhouse. Like, it's just an endless ocean of people trying to get cabs or find their ride. And I didn't have Ghost Lightning's number right in my phone. Like, I had gotten it wrong. I typed it wrong, and I didn't know how to fix it because I am a fucking idiot and never just called him to check and confirm because I didn't want to bother him, because I was really just too shy to fucking dial a phone because I hated phones so much. So this foolishness led me there. Finally, I sent him an email with what little shitty Wi-Fi I could get, and he was able to find me. And so yeah. So we got in the cab, went home. Fucking insane cab fare. I'm pretty sure he had to pay. So apologies for that, dude. Like, that probably alone made him net in the red on my trip there. But so we go to his house. He comes. They live, like, Ghost Lightning and his wife lived in the upstairs of this house. That was where his wife's parents lived in the bottom half. And so we went upstairs, and they had a spiral staircase, like a metal spiral staircase that went upstairs, which is pretty neat. And we're at the top, and it opens into a guest room, and they're like, here's where you'll be sleeping. It's sort of like a living room, really, but they considered it a guest room. There was another whole room that wasn't really used for much of anything. I think maybe because, like, the baby would sleep downstairs, I think, or with the parents, because they had a baby at the time. I don't think she was using it, but maybe it was intended to eventually be her room. And then there was their bedroom. And so I was in the living room area, and they have a little table out there and a little TV. And we sat at the table, and Ghost Lightning gets out 2 glasses and pours me a glass of Red Horse beer. Now, Red Horse beer is a really fucking strong beer. It's like 8% alcohol content, it's bitter, it's dark, and it's a real kick in the face. It's one of those that you take a sip and your face turns red immediately. Like, that's why I think generally red beers do that. Like, red beers make you red-faced. I don't know if that's just a whole load of horse shit and, like, it's just marketing, but, like, Tecate and Red Stripe and Red Horse are all red beers, and they all have that effect on me. But especially Red Horse. So I drink this Red Horse, and I think it's the most disgusting thing in the world. And I only drink, like, a few sips, but I immediately feel, like, fucked. Like, not drunk, but, like, my stomach hurts and my head hurts, and I just wanted to go to bed. I mean, I'd just been on, like, 18 hours of flying, so I was pretty fucking dead. And yeah, I was like, this is the shittiest drink in the whole world. I couldn't finish it. I did not end up finishing it. So, my first impression of beer, not great. Now, I don't remember, I think this was the second one I had, was when Ghost Lightning and I went to Manila, like the city Manila. Manila is the name of a metropolitan area that is fucking huge. It's like 15 different cities. But Manila, the city itself, is this incredibly dense hellhole. Like, it's like the most population dense city like on the fucking planet or something like that. And it's very sleazy. Like, it feels like a red, like the whole city feels like a red light district, or that, or he was just taking me through a particularly red light district. But we did go through the red light district. There's like lots that are just garbage, like a lot where a house is supposed to be, but it's just like become a de facto landfill because people have thrown so much garbage into it, and stuff like that. It just, prostitutes walking around and shit like that. People asking us, like, people trying to like talk, like trying to ask you if you want something. So he takes me through this area to this bar that's like a hostess bar essentially. And there's like a bunch of girls who, like, they wait on your table, but they're all trying to like be sexy, and like they'll come sit next to you and like try to chat you up essentially. And he had taken me to this place just because he wanted me to like see it and experience it, and he likes to take he ghostlighting is a very different approach to tourism from most people, because when he has friends come in from out of country, he does not take them to the nice places. He takes them to the dark places. Like, he takes you to everyday life in Manila so that you can understand everyday life in Manila, which is what I wanted. I wanted to understand, like, what it's actually like to live in this city, not what it's like to go to the tourist attractions. Which is why everywhere I went, everyone looked at me funny, because I was white and they had no idea why I was there. I had this constant feeling of people being like, why is a white person in this part of town? Like, this doesn't make sense. So we went to this place, and Ghost Lightning orders me a San Miguel Light. So San Miguel is like the standard beer of the Philippines. Like, it's their big one. I won't say it's like their Budweiser, because it's way the fuck better than Budweiser. It's much closer to like a Tecate in flavor, and it's a pretty, I guess it's like their Guinness is probably a better way of putting it. It's on that kind of level of like a beer that people generally like, but that is very common. And so he got me a San Miguel Light, and I think I drank all of it, and I didn't even really get buzzed, but I got a really bad stomach ache and I had to shit really bad. And like, this place we're in has insanely loud music. 'Cause, it's like a bar, and it's kind of like a sports bar, but they're just like blasting loud, bassy pop music, and like it was just making my stomach fucking like gurgle, and like I felt like shit. And we didn't want to eat there or anything, because I think we might have already eaten. So we just kind of had one beer and like let the girls flirt with us a little bit, like just so he could show me. But like, I had no interest. Like, the girl came over to our table, and we were both just kind of like telling her to go away, essentially. Like, yeah, no, we don't want anything. Yeah, no, we're just chilling, just hanging out, like giving her really short answers and stuff. And she sat there for probably like a couple minutes and then gave up. But they kept trying to sell us stuff. Like, they would bring like a pizza over and try to sell it to us. And a lot of them were really weird looking. Like, there was a couple kind of hot girls, and then a lot of like really ugly girls, like really weird looking girls there. And Ghost Lightning was telling me that like some of the other white guys that he's brought to this place are into like the super weird looking girls. Like, it's like, oh yeah, a lot of the times the white people are into like the really fucking weird ones. And I'm like, why? Like, me, I'm into anime girls, I don't need no fucking weird looking chick. But yeah, I think he mostly wanted to show me the sort of desolation and desperation of that was the word he used, was like, just seeing how desperate it is like an interesting thing to know about, which I will definitely agree with. But I had a huge stomach ache. So we went to the mall that was nearby, which I believe was was it Mega Mall? I don't remember. It was one of the big malls. There's a ton of huge fucking malls. It was one of the big SM malls. And, yeah, I had to shit in, like, the bathrooms. A lot of the mall bathrooms there you have to pay for. So, like, you have to pay a fine and go in. And they're all fucking packed and disgusting. And it was raining out. So, like, the whole bathroom was, like, flooded with water from either toilets or rain. and I'm fucking taking a big ass shit for like 45 minutes, and my fucking shorts get like soaked on the ground, and I felt terrible. And I remember walking out, and Ghost Lightning was like looking out over a railing in the mall, and I walked up beside him, and I just went, "Dark times," and he fucking lost it. It was great. So then, the third time that we drank, this is where I learned that the alcohol was good. Was we had a drinking game party sort of thing. So at one of the malls, they sectioned off like a part of the mall and had this huge toy fair, which is basically functionally identical to the dealer's room at a convention, except in a much tighter space, but like with just as much shit and just as many people, but like in a really fucking tight space. And there was tons and tons of people selling anime figures. Like it was basically like it was better of a selection than I've ever seen in an actual dealer's room at an American convention. There were a lot of fakes, but there was also a lot of really rare, real stuff. And I bought a bunch of really cool shit. Like half my fucking figure collection comes from this one toy fair, just because it was so cheap. Well, I should say half of it comes from the Philippines, because there's tons and tons of toy stores that sell anime shit there. But a lot of that stuff came from the toy fair. And a bunch of other anime bloggers met us up there, like a bunch of ones who lived in the Philippines, because we knew all the Filipino anime bloggers. Yeah, we all came to one spot, and then afterwards, a few of us decided to go. I think we went to karaoke after that. Like we hung out, and then we went to karaoke and got a little tipsy, and then some of us went back to Ghost Lightning's place. So it was me, Ghost Lightning, a guy known as oh god, Schneider Hime, or Schneiderheim. I don't remember which one he uses right now on Twitter. There's a guy named Schneider. That was like his online handle. And he was he was a big mecha blogger who was good friends with Ghost Lightning. And then there was another guy named, I do not remember his name. He was a commenter on my shit. And he also had his own blog, but Rainbow Sphere. His blog was really incomprehensible, and meeting him in person made it clear why. Because he was kind of a weird dude, but he was alright, and I liked him, and he really liked me for some reason. And so we all went to Ghost Lightning's house, and we decided to play an anime drinking game. And we were gonna watch Lucky Star, and we came up with like 4 rules. It was basically each time, like it was 1 rule per character, and each time the character does that thing, you take a drink. So like I think with Miyuki, it was like putting her finger to her chin. Kagami like getting angry or something like that. Tsukasa, I don't know, maybe saying something weird. And then with Konata, it was every time her mouth becomes a triangle, which we didn't realize happens almost constantly. Like every time she tells a joke, her mouth is a triangle. So we're getting shit-faced quickly. And I think each of us had about 3 drinks of something called Tandwe Ice. Now, Tandwe Ice is almost identical to Mike's Hard Lemonade. It's an extremely sweet, easy to drink drink. Actually, it's even less harsh tasting than Mike's, but it's as strong. So like 8% alcohol, and I, having my first real alcohol experience drinking 3 bottles, that shit sneaks up on you. And so we're all drinking this Tandwe Ice, and we all get pretty fucking drunk. And I remember that Rainbow Sphere was like shit-faced by the end. I was pretty gone. Like, I think we only made it through 3 episodes of Lucky Star, if that. Maybe it was only 2 episodes. By the end of episode 2, I remember being like blinding drunk. And I think we tried to do like Heart Catch Precure, but we weren't feeling it. And yeah, like Lucky Star was like perfect for it. And then yeah. So I think Schneider had gone home, and Rainbow Sphere stayed the night. He just crashed on the couch or whatever. And then the next day, we all went to another guy's house, like one of the guys who was at the Toy Con. This dude named, I want to say his name was Noel. I don't remember. I don't think he had an anime blog. I think he was just sort of an auxiliary character in Ghost Lightning's anime blogging, who he would mention sometimes. But this guy was also a really big mecha nut, and he had like a great home theater in his bedroom. Really tiny bedroom, really huge screen TV with like surround sound and all that. Like incredible home theater setup. And so he was inviting all of us to come over to watch anime movies. And we watched Evangelion 2.0, which I was completely in love with at the time. We watched the Nanoha movie, which I was also mostly in love with at the time, but this was the second time I saw it, and like my score for it drastically declined. Like for some reason, the first time I saw that movie, I fucking loved it, and the second time I was a lot more hesitant about it, and then the third time when I did my Nanoha videos, I outright didn't enjoy it at all. But I was still in that faltering phase at this point. And Ghost Lightning like didn't pay attention to the movie at all. He just kind of like went off and did something else while everybody else was watching it. Then we watched Steam Boy, which was fucking great. It's such an underrated movie. And I think that was it. But I remember for the first couple movies, I had like the worst stomach ache. Like my stomach was fucking doing like a tumbler dryer because I was hungover as fuck, and whatever we'd eaten that morning was like something very Filipino that I couldn't really stomach that well. So like I was fucking dying. And yeah, those are all my drinking experiences in the Philippines. And I can now talk about